please call us.
This is like the 5th or 6th season of Higher Thought, something like that.
Yeah.
And you know what we get down with, I mean, we talk all kind of random different topics. We throw some jokes in from time to time.
Jokes? Wait, y'all thought we weren't going to talk about your mom anymore.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess sometimes it's best to leave moms out of this.
And I'll
leave
this out of your mom.
You know
What?
So, Shahid, how you doing, man?
I'm doing
Want to
fine,
come say
man.
hi?
Yes, sir.
Poke your head in there.
Good evening, brother.
Hello,
Hey, there's
Indiana.
Shahid. Looking all wise with the beard. I kind of shaved my beard off, Well, I mean, like every white boy has a beard nowadays, so.
Oh, we were talking about that just earlier.
Well,
Yeah,
and so.
got that massive chin curtain, the whole lumberjack.
Well, I got the little chin.
No,
beard
you've
going.
got a little tight goatee. That's
yeah.
I mean, me, I'm wearing the chin strap, goatee with just up the sides, no stash. But these guys with the gorilla beards, not gorilla, that's wrong on gorillas.
Gorilla beards.
Yeah, you know.
Or were you calling them like curtain?
They're chin curtains.
Chin curtains. Like the Iron Curtain in, I guess Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So we've got some news. I guess we'll start off with, first off, next week we won't be on the air because it is AOC's annual festival week. It's going to be airing July 1st through the 7th.
Right.
And so you can catch up on, if you did not go to the festival, you can check out some of the performances.
Absolutely.
And actually, I think I probably won't be here, which actually next Thursday is the 4th of July. So I imagine most of y'all will be barbecuing, chilling, doing whatever. But the following, which I guess would be the 11th, I think I'm going to be like in Florida chilling on the beach.
Excellent. You deserve a break today.
So it might be a couple or a few weeks before you see us again. But it's all good. We've got leniency here.
And we will come back rested, restored, refreshed, and ready to give you the fakest real news possible.
That's it. Which we, of course, do warn you. Can get TV14, TVMA at times.
yeah.
Even TV14, that's a little...
I've gotten better, so the MA
Well, we've
thing-
gotten toward TV14.
Yeah.
But sometimes it slips into TVMA, maybe when we've had a few tasty beverages.
Or I get a little excited about an issue and say WTF, only don't spell it.
No doubt. So, would you say that Lafayette is one of the better places to live in Louisiana? Or in the Acadiana region, I suppose.
If I had to live in a big city, I'd pick Lafayette because you got a college, which means they're
more intelligent people, higher incomes, more jobs.
More jobs, and more places where you're going to see bands play, things to do, stuff like that.
But don't get me started on that because I do think that here in Lafayette that we can get kind of spoiled from time to time in our live music scene because I've heard so many times that people don't want to pay covers because all the shows are free.
Oh, that's just such bunk, man. Because local bands, unless they're getting a cover, and they're not getting all of that 9 times out of 10, they got to sell merch. And you're lucky to break even when you do merch.
Right. And it's unfortunate for the live music scene, but it is what it is. And I mean, we do our free shows here in Lafayette.
Right. Well, we used to have a place in New Iberia called the Underground Sea. And a lot of grindcore, a lot of drop D bands. And
I'd say the Lafayette place for that probably would be the Boom Boom Room for your heavier shows.
Right. Okay. Well, then I'm gonna have to check out.
Yeah, they got some good stuff at the Boom Boom Room, and they do burlesque shows too.
That's always pretty
stuff.
groovy.
It's on the Strip.
Well, if they're gonna strip, that's sort of
there's two different main go out areas in Lafayette. There's downtown, which is Jefferson.
Right, which is where we are
ish, yes. And then there's the Strip, which is kind of by the college on McKinley. They have the strip of bars, I think they got the Keg, which I remember used to maybe do penny pitchers or something like that. One of those places did.
Oh man. Thank God.
And like I think that's where the gay bar is too.
Good.
You know the
Put it on the
I think
strip.
it's Bolt.
Bolt?
Bolt, I think is
Cool.
the name of the gay bar. They used to have another one, I think downtown, but I don't know. It's not there anymore.
Right.
So, but actually, Lafayette was ranked third by the Chamber of Commerce.org, based on 5 factors that the organization used to judge quality of life. The third best place to live in Louisiana. And the other 2 are right next to each other. So it's basically just one big town. And I'll say it's upscale New Orleans.
Okay.
Where are those towns?
Yeah.
On the North Shore.
Out on the North Shore.
So the Mandeville and Covington actually got the top 2 as far as quality of life, which you can't argue with that if you've ever been to Mandeville and Covington.
Yeah.
It's
just that drive across the bridge.
to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Well, I would say though that it works out perfectly because like you're living in a nice family area that's got a bunch of beautiful nature, got nice houses with
Right.
good market value, bunch of stores.
But you gotta put up with the traffic stupidity.
There's a lot of traffic stupidity, especially in
town
Covington and
and
Mandeville.
out of town. I mean,
But
just
if you want to go out and ball out, you're a
Oh.
good 30 minutes away from New Orleans.
right.
So, I mean, I'd say, I grew up in Mandeville, so I guess I'm a little biased.
Yeah, but you know where it's at. I mean, you know what.
If
the deal
anything,
is.
though, like I'd say the lakefront area, Fountainblue State Park, which
I don't know that one.
Oh, it's like right on Lake Pontchartrain. It's fantastic.
They got spots for like campers, travel
Oh, they've got
trailers, Or is
everything.
it tents, kind of?
They've got everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to give that a
Yeah,
go
that's one of the
sometime.
best state parks I would recommend in Louisiana. I mean, like right there on Lake Pontchartrain, which is like my sanctuary, to a
Right.
certain degree.
You like that brackish water?
Well, I mean, for me, like I used to like go watch the sunset just about every day there, and like meet with friends and
Enjoy community time.
no doubt. But like watching that sunset, and even like I would go by myself, and it was definitely inspirational as far as like art and writing, and wrote a lot of songs on the lakefront.
Right.
So walked the dog, all that good stuff. And actually, speaking of sunsets, with trade winds, a thin line of dust from the Sahara Desert has moved across the Atlantic Ocean, moving west toward Louisiana, giving us gorgeous sunsets, choking out any tropical system that develops.
Good. And hopefully it'll drop to the ground here because we desperately need the free soil.
Hey, no doubt.
I mean, we're only losing, 100 football fields of land a day to coastal erosion?
It's just like we leave it all up to the Army Corps of Engineers for our fate, as far as like whether we're going to be underwater or not.
Come on, people, you gotta care about the place you live.
And they'll keep on sacrificing rural areas for
I
urban.
know. They're pulling a China where they're drawing people out of the rural areas and trying to concentrate them into the cities so that they can exploit whatever resources get abandoned when those people leave the rural area.
The rural.
No, I mean, come on, Louisiana historically has relied on extractive industries. I was talking to a friend earlier. Hey Z, we were talking about old trees. I mean, think about how many ancient cypress trees, God knows how old they were, that people would just come in, cut down, haul them out.
Well, you got to be a conservationist nowadays,
I think you just gotta give a crap. Like, if you're drawing water in from a river, it should be your responsibility to put it back. At minimum, no dirtier than you got it.
Right.
And preferably cleaner than you got it.
Well, and we'd like to hear your thoughts on all we've talked about so far, Acadiana. 366-8951. I think, is that the number? I thought it was 8950.
I've got 8950, but does it show something different on the screen?
Yeah,
Oh,
it does.
well,
it
they've
does.
got multiple.
Okay, so we've got a wrong number on the screen apparently. So it's 366-8950.
And press 1.
Press 1 if you want to call in.
Tell us about your ecological woes.
Oh, no doubt. And what would you say would be the top ranked restaurant in the country? like fast food, or it's called Top Limited Service Restaurant Chain. You heard that?
Top limited
okay.
service restaurant chain.
For the 4th year in a row.
Limited service.
It's basically fast food.
McD's?
Nope. Come on, man. Americans are passionate about this one.
Oh, Taco Hell.
Not Taco Hell, but we're going to get to that Taco Hell in a little bit.
Okay.
Come on, man. People are like debate and argue about this place even.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. There you go. For the 4th year in a row, Chick-fil-A has once again been named the top limited service restaurant chain in the country. I could believe it. You know, I mean, it's some delicious chicken.
How do you what is limited service? How are they segmenting the market so finely that it's the top? I mean, not that I expect you to have the answer, but I mean, it's a thought process.
I mean,
it's not full
based on a
service.
survey that was nationwide, and I mean,
Right.
like, I don't know. I guess it was a legit thing. Sometimes,
Oh,
in
yeah.
order to not take up like a full page, I just put the headline.
I know.
you know.
Oh, I know. You know me. I'm always interested in what made them research that, or how did they go about researching that?
But you were telling me, speaking of Taco Bell, what was it that you were telling me a little bit earlier? The Taco Bell Hotel.
The Taco Bell Hotel. Taco Bell has rented out an entire hotel in Palm Springs for
Palm Springs is in California?
or Nevada?
California.
Thank you very much. So they want to give their super fans an unforgettable experience. This whole hotel sold out in 2 minutes.
Now, like, do you get like Dorito tacos and burritos for?
Well, if we had the
like in room
opportunity to
service?
flash the picture up, they've re-themed the hotel
Okay,
so that
it's kind of got the Taco Bell theme.
It's got the Taco
Do
Bell
they have
action going on.
like good quality toilet paper in the hotel?
One would hope. Either that or you
You know,
bring
nothing
your
that
own-
chase, because like if you're in a Taco Bell hotel, come on, you gotta have some you can't have that thin stuff. You
Okay.
know, I mean,
Okay. Well, speaking of thin stuff, the crappy rooms started at $169 a night.
wow.
That's a lot of money to stay in Taco Hell. But they're trying to make it a fan experience. So they've got special menus. And this isn't the first time that Taco Bell has done a special. They try to do things for their patrons to drive the energy and increase the interaction, which we talked about last week when we said that Facebook, although it's adding new users, the level of interaction for posts and things like that have dropped.
Really? I was telling somebody to call into the show.
Ah.
Actually, somebody who co-hosted a couple weeks ago when you were in Kentucky.
Savannah.
Yeah.
I wonder how Savannah's doing. I hope her dad's doing well.
Oh well, I hope she's her dad's doing well too. I've been talking with her a little bit, and like she just texted me, and so I said, "Doing the show, holla."
Holla!
So it is wild. Taco Bell as a hotel. I mean, it sold out quick, so I guess it's a thing.
It's a thing for some people. For me, it's got to be desperation.
No doubt.
I mean, I'd hit Jack in the Box before I'd go to Taco Bell.
The Jack in the Box Hotel. We're running through some other state
you never know
news.
what's going to pop up at the Jack in the Box Hotel.
I'm a fan of Jack in the Box. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
Those
dude.
curly fries and the jumbo jack with cheese.
Down the road from the shop, when they opened up the Jack in the Box, I was a lunch regular.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan. And the breakfast, 24 hours a day.
I never did. I'm not a breakfast.
Well, their breakfast isn't as good as Whataburger's, but
You
know,
got a
still,
point there. Whataburger's got some slamming grub.
the whole menu is just really off the chain at
Yeah.
Whataburger. But running through some other U.S. state news.
State!
Did you hear what happened in Illinois? They're now the 11th state in the United States to legalize the purchase and possession of recreational marijuana.
Hooray for Illinois. Perhaps
That will like get all their murders down because they're like
Gonna-
per capita the #1 murder state, I think, like with Chicago.
well, Chicago, then you got Detroit, and they sort of battle back and forth.
Because they're poor.
And then NOLA throws itself in there every so often, somewhere
In the per capita battle.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, if you didn't know, Baton Rouge is actually #1 in AIDS and heroin use in per capita.
Per capita, well,
That per capita will get you.
when you had the population shift post Katrina, it changed Baton Rouge's demographic, not massively, but statistically significantly.
Well, and then they
enough.
gerrymander. Like, when did gerrymandering become legal? Because it's happening all over the country.
Okay, well, the Supreme Court decided to throw out the gerrymandering case that was based on gerrymandered because of political affiliation. It's still illegal to gerrymander because of racial,
It's just like it's still illegal to have monopolies, even though they let it happen.
even though they let it happen.
You know, so-
We're talking mid-1800s Elbridge Gerry.
Just
or
when did the
Gary.
Constitution just go out of the window is what we're wondering. You know,
Well, we could talk about, I know we don't want to say it, but Trump doesn't have the right to declare war on Iran. That's a congressional prerogative, and they're having to pass a motion
well,
to send to his desk to remind him.
I wonder if like Shahid will have to come reset some stuff.
I don't know. I see us now. Do you see us now?
Do you see us? Are we back?
Are we back?
Are we back? Oh, well, we had a little power surge there. Hey, and we've
Yeah,
got to go.
Good evening.
Hey, and we just had a power surge. Your call must have been so powerful that, like, it just shut this whole place down real quick.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, crossing state lines. I guess that's what happened.
Hey, Sav, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay, man. I just got back from the gym all high on endorphins right now.
Woo!
Ah, yes, indeed. High on life. We like that at
Natural
Higher Thought.
high, excellent.
Dude, really, it's been great.
Uh,
Sober for like a month.
Things going well with your dad?
Tomorrow is our last day of treatment.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's a plus. He's surviving, but it's also killing him in the meantime.
Treatment always is
And
brutal.
it's no joke. I know, I think he's technically classified as like a genetically modified organism now with all the radiation he's getting. But
Well, Savannah, you were telling me about this book, Living in a Mindful Universe, that you're reading. And so tell us a little bit about it because, we are definitely trying to be a little more mindful here on Higher Thought.
Absolutely.
yeah, so this book is, first of all, it's rocking my world. It is so cool. It's written by a neurosurgeon who has been in the field for I think over 40 years now. Basically, he had a near-death experience where he traveled outside of the physical realm, however you want to call it. Saw the light, heaven, went to Eden. Existed in the collective consciousness of the universe or whatnot, whatever the title is. It was profound to him. And so after this experience, he dove in, and he was really connected in the field, obviously. He made huge gains in the MRI aspect of neuroscience and stuff. And so he gets together with all his neuroscience buddies to try and explain, what he experienced, and realize that this is actually a huge field that neurosurgeons study, and it covers near-death experiences, cytokinesis, telekinesis, children remembering past lives, and it's a huge field of study that goes on, and it kind of just deals with the question, like, what is consciousness? Like, what is it? How come we can observe our thoughts? you know?
Right.
Well, there are 3 levels of consciousness, according, to most psychologists. That typically it's your consciousness, what you're aware of in your mind.
Right.
There's your subconscious, which basically you can access. It's like your file cabinets, and then your unconscious, which is like kind of
Your
includes your
autonomic
like I guess
drives.
collective unconscious, where you're tied to humanity essentially, and it's kind of like the hardcore database, I guess, that we follow. It's our genetics, it's our past lives, it's our soul, essentially,
Yeah.
or our shadow.
Right.
as it's been
One
put.
would hope that your soul would be more thoughtful than just a base drive.
Well, you aren't aware of your, your unconscious, obviously. It just
No,
kinda,
it runs in the back. It's like a program that runs in the background,
doubt.
and it influences the other things that go on in your mind.
But you can become aware of
So
it.
Pardon?
question,
Yes.
Mo,
Yes.
do you believe that your consciousness comes from your brain?
Negative. My consciousness connects to my brain because my consciousness happens to match the patterns that my brain is wired to accept.
Okay.
So the brain's
Yeah,
essentially
right.
a control center.
It's the
Your brain is like, so
interface.
this is a theory.
It's the interface between my body and who I am.
Okay.
What is that?
So
Does that
there are
conflict with what you've read?
No, so this is actually, there's 3 different theories that he kind of goes into. One theory, the one that you're talking about, is the filter theory, that your brain filters what consciousness is. And so we are experiencing a reality that is purely what our brain can perceive. And it's filtering through the endless potential of what could be out there. And we are experiencing the physical reality that we have because that's all that our brain can perceive.
So are you talking about manifestation as far as like whatever we think and perceive, like that is our reality?
So like it's part of it because like this is what the consensus reality is, what everyone kind of agrees is reality. But yet if you dive into, meditation or even like, tantric yoga,
Or
like binaural
hallucinogens.
Well,
yeah, he talks about hallucinogens too in the book. Like all of these methods, it opens up different realms
The third eye.
to a certain extent. Yeah, and so it's like what is that? And back to the series real quick. You have the filter theory, and then you have the theory that the brain creates consciousness, but then you have the theory that consciousness creates everything, and creates the brain, and the only reason that we have a brain is because consciousness exists. And so, what's interesting about this is that in these states of, deep meditation or listening to binaural beats or doing tantric yoga or on hallucinogen, what you see is in these states where you open up your consciousness a bit and you experience these different states of reality, your brain activity actually decreases.
okay.
So-
You're experiencing
Yeah.
Well, I think the noise
altered
decreases.
states of reality, but your brain activity decreases?
I would say
Correct.
in certain areas because like that's just the noise in your brain. Like in order to meditate, you have to like set all that stuff free and focus. you know, on-
Right.
I've got you got to filter. For me, I've got to filter out the ringing in my ears,
Sure.
and once that goes away, the tinnitus, then I know I've hit a zone.
Are you able to quiet your brain down?
Yes. It takes.
It definitely
a while.
takes practice, and and so an interesting read I had recently. If you want to check it out, it was called, I believe, the 5th interview of Dr. Neruda, and like it was something like they interviewed him like in '98, but it was essentially talking about how human beings, I guess, were like infinite beings, like we were basically souls when we were essentially tricked into taking on the human body. by the Anunnaki. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, and like
So we were tricked?
yeah, and basically, like what the theory is it's the simulation theory, which is a very popular theory, kind of similar to the Matrix, but basically they say that the afterlife is almost another construct of this little computer system that we're in, that basically the white light is just a trick to recycle your soul back into the system, which is like a prison planet.
So you get like a reboot.
A reboot, and we are now facing kind of a crossroads in humanity, whether we are going to merge with the robots and AI and essentially go that direction, or if we are just going to change our consciousness as an entire human species, and you realize that we're all equal and we're all individual souls,
Right. Well,
and in order to escape this slave pattern that we live on this planet.
if I have the opportunity, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you can go. I was just going to say that's like pretty sci-fi.
It is definitely, and like that's why I would suggest reading the material, because like I'm not the reader of this message, and like I don't take it as truth. I don't take anything as truth.
Unless, well, wait, that's a hand.
Well, I mean,
Is
as
it?
far as like most stuff that I read,
It could be a tentacle, but does it feel like a tentacle? Does it look like a tentacle?
it's a hand.
It's a hand.
Yes.
Now, if you want a tentacle, I could put a tentacle in your hand, but we're not talking about that.
Excellent.
Exactly.
So that's pretty deep. That is pretty deep, and I mean, like, far-fetched theories is what Higher Thoughts is about. It's because we don't necessarily present anything as the truth. We just present all sides, and you can make a
You're
decision
welcome
for
to
yourself.
believe what you want.
Research and prove anything we say wrong. We encourage that on this show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Active debate and
One-
discussion.
oh.
Go ahead, Savannah.
Okay, sorry. One thing that I'm like not there in person, so I don't know where like the physical cues are to talk. But one thing that the book went into a bit, and this is kind of like there's some cool YouTube videos you can watch to get a good understanding of it. But how unconcrete this reality is. It's on a quantum level. If you go on and dive into quantum physics. And this is where YouTube videos help a lot, because reading about quantum physics, those people are incredibly intelligent.
Very smart, yes.
It's a bit over my head. But a cartoon YouTube video, I
A
can
cartoon
understand it.
YouTube video. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Well, and I try to read a lot of quantum physics type articles as well and studies, and like some of it is tough to wrap your mind around, but typically they try to, explain it as the best they can to the common mind.
Yeah, I think even Albert Einstein said that, like, if you meet someone that tells you that they understand quantum physics, then you just met a liar.
Ah.
Well, sure, but I'm definitely a big believer in just like spiritual power, and that like is kind of what quantum physics like. It's universal energies that are invisible and hard to prove, and,
Right, but
but
does
they
that
are
make
now
it
getting
spiritual?
Well, I
do
mean,
you
like,
have to
for a lot
believe
of
it
people,
for
I
it
believe
to
it is.
exist?
For a lot of people, I think it is, but maybe not for everybody. But
Not for everybody.
it's just the universal energies.
I can deny gravity all I want based on some creed that this gravity is an oppression from a negative being, but does that really explain why gravity draws me down to the center of the planet?
So I'm positive I lost an electron, so you better keep an eye on that. Ion.
I'm positive.
Anyways.
I'm slapping my knee. You can't see
Woohoo!
this knee slap.
Well, the book you were talking about, Savannah, was Living in a Mindful Universe. Some very interesting stuff. You got any other questions, comments that you'd like to concern? You messaged me the other day about how you were concerned about Iran and global warming or climate change or something like that. What are your concerns there?
Oh, my biggest concern, I have two really big concerns right now. One, that we're going to go to war with Iran.
Right.
Just saw they have John Kerry over there.
The thing is, like, if you look at so, like, in this situation, I find it super important to read your normal news, whatever, but then honestly, read Al Jazeera, because it gives you the other side of the story. And, I mean, Iran and one other country claimed that the drone that they shot down was over Iran airspace. And then we claim that it was over international waters, and it's like,
it's all propaganda,
That could start, well, it's just like, but who knows, we don't know what the right story is. And I would hate to see another encounter, or I would hate to see another
forever war
event happen, like 2001, where they started feeding us information, that was psychologically tested to sway us onto their side because they wanted a war. And with the election coming up, man, if a president is in war, the chances of re-election are almost guaranteed.
No.
So
If Donald Trump drags us into a war in the Middle East,
I have an interesting story here that relates to that. James O'Keefe and Project Veritas apparently recently released an undercover video and leaked documents and testimony from a Google insider that it reveals the tech giant's plans to meddle in American elections. The Google executives have deleted their social media pages and have gone into hiding. So this was a story that was reported. And it just goes to show you that there's a lot of swaying in the elections, and it's not technically just the Russians; it's our own social media giants here in this country.
right, but we were talking about the war with Iran.
Well, even the sway public opinion, like she mentioned in 2001.
Right. Swaying public opinion.
Because all of these
you.
news
I'm a little
corporations
slow,
are
but I
owned
catch
by
on.
the same people, essentially. So it is easy to brainwash a country.
Well,
Yeah,
people.
this is sort of off topic, but I think really interesting that baby boomers actually share 7 times more fake news articles than
Right.
millennials do.
They do. And I've called my stepdad out a lot on that. I'm like, fake, he'll post something and just that can't be true.
Yeah.
No.
Thank God I'm not a boomer, and thank God I'm off the
It's
face
funny
crack.
though. It's funny though.
Yeah,
Are you pre-boomer, Mo?
I'm on the
He's
cusp.
on the cusp of X. Well, no, not X.
Yeah,
Why?
no X.
Oh, X?
Yeah, Boomer and X.
Dude, claim that till you die.
Heck yeah.
I'm more of an Xer than a boomer. It's just the way my brain is wired.
Well, Savannah, we definitely appreciate the call, and I guess we're gonna kind of move on here. We had just 16 minutes, and we don't want to get too repetitive. I guess.
And eat up your whole evening.
And eat up your whole evening, I suppose, as well. But yeah, definitely holler, huh?
Exactly. There's no reason
Our old
not to keep
coworker
in
here.
touch.
Very, very intelligent, cool.
Absolutely. Reach out and touch someone. Reach out and just say hi. Sorry, you didn't watch that commercial.
I have a cat. That's all I have.
Ah.
Haha. Well, Savannah, we wish you well, and tell everybody in the fam we said hi here at Higher Thought.
Okay, I will.
And we hope to have you on the show here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'll let you guys know. Heading to Florida soon. But you guys enjoy your show. It was good talking to you.
All right, you as well.
Nice to talk to you.
Thanks for the call.
Bye.
Bye now.
All right, later. Awesome. Yeah, good always to have a call and a Acadiana if you want to get in on that action. 366-8950 and press the 1.
Press the 1.
So a couple of other news topics I guess we can go through.
Yeah.
How about an 11-year-old boy? Speaking of hacking into stuff, 11-year-old boy in Florida was able to hack into a replica of the Florida state election website and change voting results in under 10 minutes during the world's largest yearly hacking convention.
Hackathon, right. Okay, a replica. So they provided a replica of their voter.
Right, and
thing.
11-year-old boy was able to hack in there under 10 minutes and change the results.
Jeebus Crispies, what is wrong with you people? Let's go back to punch cards. You know what? It'd be no, because Florida screwed that up with hanging chads.
Right.
Let's go back to freaking check marks on a piece of paper.
Eventually, we're going to be voting on these things.
No, I don't trust these bastards to save my life.
Nor do I.
And we can pay people. They can earn money to count votes.
How about a Miami high school is catching some heat after a jungle-themed prom decorations included a live caged tiger.
Was it PETA involved with this one?
You gotta think so. Speaking of Miami, a Miami bar actually offered customers free shots for every goal by the U.S. at the Women's World Cup. They've scaled back, however, in an offer I guess the team had a record-breaking 13-0 thrashing.
13 free shots. Woo!
Yeah, so they lost a little bit of money that
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
They didn't think they would score that. I mean, usually soccer is like no more than 3 or 4.
Right. 0-0.
Right, but I guess the Americans Women World Cup team is whooping it. How about 3 people snatched a small shark from a pool at the San Antonio Aquarium and smuggled it out with a baby carriage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Golly.
Thieving ass people.
A Phoenix father is facing second-degree murder charges for allegedly killing a man who attempted to break into his teenage girl's stall at a convenience store bathroom.
Wait, what?
So, like, they're at a convenience store.
Right.
Some dude tried to break in and, like, with his daughter. And,
Right.
And
And Dad popped a cap in his ass?
No, he beat the shit out of him.
Okay,
beat him
well,
to
good.
death, I think.
Oh, to death. Well, that's a little excessive.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I'd beat the fudge out of him.
Fudge
but-
out of him, right.
Yeah, but not to death. I mean, even I have that
That's a little
semblance of
harsh.
self-control.
Let's see. A man has been arrested in JFK Airport for trying to smuggle 34 live finches, like birds,
In his pants?
in plastic hair curlers.
Oh, come
Planning
on.
to sell the animals to be used at a lucrative bird singing competitions in New York City for $3,000 apiece.
I'd take that risk.
Dang. Michigan man who won a $30 million lottery jackpot while in the midst of a divorce proceedings
I heard
must
about
split the
that.
money with his ex.
Yeah.
Sucks
Because
for
the
him.
money that was used to purchase the lottery ticket they were still communally attached.
Right.
Yeah. I'd have kept my mouth shut until the very last minute.
So if you're on Tinder, Acadiana, and you're a farmer,
Oh!
you might want to get on Tutter.
Tutter?
Tutter is a mix of a dating app between Tinder and an udder. It lets farmers swipe right on cattle they like the look of. Basically for breeding for their...
Because they want to buy cows, right. Oh, God. Hey, man, great. There's an app for everybody. Isn't there a dating website, like, for farmers only or some sort of crap like that?
I think there is. How about in Switzerland? This is world news here. Switzerland announced plans to abolish the nation's emergency stockpile of coffee.
Yeah.
After declaring the beans are not vital for human survival, though opposition to the proposal is brewing.
Yes, it is.
I like what they did there, brewing.
There are a number of citizens that are upset.
And I don't want an apocalypse without coffee.
Right, cocoa's just not going to cut it. Give me
Right.
coffee.
So the WWE, and going into entertainment
Yeah.
news, I guess.
Hey, man.
They've
we
been
have
struggling.
our
They had a
stories.
pay-per-view on Sunday, and I think they only sold like 3,500 tickets.
Ooh.
And they had to do 2-for-1s, give away a bunch of free tickets. Their ratings are down, so Fox, which they made a sign a deal with Fox, and they're supposed to have SmackDown on Fox on Fridays, I think, coming up soon. But Fox is saying y'all need to make some changes. This is bad. Y'all's ratings suck.
Poor Ed.
And they've named Paul
Vince.
Heyman to become the executive director of Monday Night Raw, and Eric Bischoff from SmackDown Live. Basically, Heyman ran ECW back in the 90s, and Bischoff ran WCW back in the 90s. So, and they're both going to report to Vince McMahon, which, in my opinion, Vince McMahon's probably one of the biggest problems with the.
Yeah.
I mean, with the storyline, everything has to go through him, and he knocks everything down.
Right.
And I don't know, he's
He
like a
is the
70-some-year-old
bottleneck,
dude, but
yeah.
he's the boss.
Yeah.
Anyway, sports news. How about breakdancing has been provisionally approved for the 2024 Olympics?
Good.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Good. I mean, it's gymnastics. It's
I'd see some worldwide breakdancing.
yeah.
And in college baseball news, Vanderbilt won the second national championship, beating Michigan.
Good for Vandy.
Yeah, Vandy. Some studies, interesting stuff. Luton Malin is a French company that actually produces capsules claiming to make your farts smell like roses.
No.
They've actually got other flavors as well. They can make your farts smell like violet, ginger, and the most popular of all, chocolate.
Wait. Flavors. That's
Chocolate
just-
flavored
not
farts.
Chocolate flavored farts.
So you take the capsule and your farts can smell like roses. You know, because like used to, like when you farted on your like brother or sister or something like that,
right.
you know, you'd be like, my farts smell like roses. You know, but now they literally can.
Is it like the Cleveland steamer where you cut one and then pull the cover over their head?
Kind of so, yeah. That's one of the worst. That's
Yeah.
one of the worst. Or in like the car and the windows are broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Plastic bottles made of number 1 and number 7 plastics can leach harmful chemicals into water and liquid over time. So
BPA
basically, you shouldn't
or something?
reuse water bottles, is what the article was saying.
Which
like to
numbers?
where like you refill like water bottles. But it was saying that as plastic ages, cracks and other damages appear in the bottle, increasing the amount of chemicals absorbed by the liquid contained in the bottle.
Right. Does it give the number of
Number 1 and number 7 plastics.
number 1 and number 7 plastic?
Which I'm not sure where you would find that information, but I mean,
It's
like
gotta
those
be stamped on here somewhere. 'cause this
those
is
bottles
recyclable.
tend to have like what was it? It's BPA, not BPA. That BPA is the big ones.
Right.
It is. It's on like every water bottle. I'm not sure. How about for the first time, astrophysicists have used AI techniques to generate complex 3D simulations of the universe.
Cool.
Results are so fast, accurate, and robust that the creators aren't even sure how it works. And this is like getting back to that simulation theory, you know. And like, of course, even Savannah mentioned it was kind of like far-fetched, but like once you kind of read this theory, it all kind of ties in like, you know, religion, it ties in astrology, it ties in like reincarnation, it ties in the simulation theory, like all kind of together. And
Right.
it's a very interesting theory. And a lot of people that are kind of woke are kind of feeling that kind of thing. That just like realizing this like whole world built around us is all fake. And I suggest like you research a little bit on Rand Corporation and Tavistock Institute, which like is 2 of the biggest corporations, nonprofit, that you know pretty much do mind control and create like social engineering that pretty much creates our culture.
Right.
So
Or you could read Plato and his story about
that
the
too.
cave.
Read it all. Read it all. Let's see. Men's fertility irreversibly damaged by the age of 18 thanks to Western junk food diet, study
Oh,
finds.
Jesus God. Okay.
So I guess like eating crap like
Okay,
makes
so
your
I ate
sperm
crap
count.
food all my growing years. I've got 4 kids. Does that mean that I'm an outlier or the study's flawed?
Well, actually, fertility rates are now falling in half of the world's countries.
Good. Good.
I know you're a big believer.
We got too many people.
too many people.
Too many people. And if we could just get rid of the stupid ones, we'd get rid of at least half the population.
Did you know that humor results when a person like this is based on a study. That humor results when a person simultaneously recognizes both that a norm has been breached and that breach is benign.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, that was what's funny to humans.
Sounds reasonable, because if it's an offensive topic, then you would react differently.
And speaking of humor, some 10 steps to Zen. How about that? That'll lead to our little list of puns that we got to finish the show.
I'm down for 10 steps to Zen.
10 steps to Zen, and we can talk a little bit about each one. We've got about 10, 11 minutes left. Let's see. Number 1, let go of comparing. So, like, be okay with who you are. You don't need to be as good as somebody. You don't need to be better than somebody.
It also goes for comparing to exes.
Sure.
You know?
Like, yeah, or even comparing other people.
Other
Right.
people, right. But
Yeah, I
that
agree.
was-
Like, everyone is equal. You know, we are all one. We're all equal, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, let go of competing, which, you know, sometimes, like, I'm competitive, you know, but, like, as far as, like, I work hard, I do my thing, but I'm not doing it to beat somebody.
Right,
You know?
absolutely.
And even, like, I'm a good sport whenever I do play a game. You know, I might talk some trash, but I do that because it's funny and it's fun.
Right.
You know,
well, it's
so.
like when we were playing shuffleboard last week.
Sure, we talk trash, but I got spanked last week, you know, for the first
And
time since we
for the
played.
first time ever.
You know, so I was out of it, you know. But hey, you got to win good and lose good, and it's all for the fun.
Exactly.
You know, we're all winners.
And
when
a
you
good
have
time was had by all.
a good time was had by all. Number 3, let go of judgments of other people, and that's part of it.
That's, yeah.
I accept you for who you are. Everybody has a past. It's where you are now.
Right. And people, you got to remember that people have a bad day. Just because
doubt.
they come at you a certain way, it doesn't mean that they're a dick.
I forgive and forget. You know, it's like,
know,
I'm a
it's-
what have you done for me lately kind of person. You know, and I mean, like, as far as like you can change. Like, if
Right.
I might have started off not liking you, but if you like change for the better,
Right.
hey, well, you're my best friend. You know. So, and it's another important aspect of that is you got to give preemptive love and respect.
Right. I can.
Preemptive love and respect, and it's yours to lose.
Yeah.
To everyone.
I do that at work. We have certain privileges that are allowed to my clients.
Mm-hmm.
And if they violate the social norms in our environment, then those privileges go away.
Yeah, preemptive love and respect.
Yeah.
You know, it's yours to lose.
Yeah.
And you know, so but I can forgive you if you change, do the right thing,
Right.
and you can get it all back.
Right. You can modify your behavior, and I'll be glad to restore your privileges.
Right. You know, because I mean, like when you concern yourself with the past, it'll just lead to depression. When you focus on, when you're fixated on the future, it will lead to anxiety. So you got to be in the moment, and you got to be present.
And be the best you can be.
No doubt, no doubt. I mean, it's good to plan forward.
Right.
It's good to reminisce on the past.
Right.
You know, but in certain, you know,
Yeah, right.
balance.
There's got to be reasonable constraints on the time you spend it on those activities.
So we're letting go of things. We've already mentioned letting go of comparing, letting go of competing, letting go of judgments. Next one is letting go of anger.
Tough.
I've tried to. I've gotten so much better in the years,
Mm-hmm.
like to where not as much. Like I don't get as angry like driving in traffic.
See, traffic.
That's the hardest
Traffic
one. I
is
think.
my trigger.
You know, or like handling students. You know, I mean, just like I've learned the power of the pen as far as that, and not to engage in the anger or the
Right.
negative energy. So, I mean, like try to avoid that. You know, find your harness to where you can get the anger out somewhere else. Go exercise or whatever
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let go of regrets. Yeah, I mean, what can you do about it?
Nothing but, I guess, okay, you have the regret until you learn from the mistake.
Well, the universe is gonna keep on presenting that problem to you until you learn the lesson.
Right.
You know, so I mean, like you just gotta let go of the regrets, learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like don't be burdened by it. Well, like let it off your shoulders.
Right.
You know,
I'm not being
which
burdened by
that
this
goes
tough.
right hand in hand with the next one. Number 6, let go of worrying. So I mean, like don't sweat the petty stuff, pet the sweaty stuff.
Right, but there's times that you worry when it has hit.
I'd say you definitely worry when it comes to children.
And when it has hit the fan, or the rotary impeller, and stuff just comes. It's like everything's going smooth, and then all of a sudden, it happens, and it's tough. It's really tough.
I mean, these are all tough, but the path is in.
Yeah.
You have to overcome this in order to achieve enlightenment. I mean,
Well,
ultimately.
I need work.
Let's see, letting go of blame. That's
Yeah.
part of fixating on the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
Letting go of guilt, which I think goes with regrets. And number 9, letting go of fear. I think I have a trouble with that one. Sometimes a fear of letting go, a fear of changing environments or directions in life, fear of being hurt in a situation.
Oh, absolutely.
And so that kind of keeps me from going in a certain direction that I like. If I overcame that fear, it'd be a better
It'd
direction.
be different, right?
And finally, and this is going to lead us into our little joke segment here. How about that timing?
Good timing.
Have a proper belly laugh at least once a day. It's important.
I generally get in at least one good laugh a day.
You got to. And I mean, your brain honestly does not know the difference. And many mornings on the way to work, I am fake laughing and doing goofy faces on the way to work, essentially to get myself in a good mood because I am not a morning person.
Yeah.
So I'm, like drinking the coffee hardcore. And essentially making goofy faces, which my brain does not know the difference. I'm fake laughing, and it makes me happy,
Maybe I'll try that this upcoming year.
And it wakes you up a little bit,
right,
too.
but my patrons know that I'm a little groggy in the morning. And
Well, it goes with the territory.
I mean, they know it and they accept it, and we work together in a successful fashion.
And we got about 4 minutes left in the show, and we're going to do a little bit of pun.
Yeah,
We're going to have a little bit of pun fun.
pun fun, a little. Sid, if you're watching,
There you go. Last
yeah.
4 minutes.
Right, we're
is
going to
your
be
gift.
very punny just for you.
So I started a company selling landmines disguised as prayer mats. The profits are
Oh.
going through the roof.
Oh, that's brutal. Next.
I'm super friendly with 25 letters of the alphabet. I just don't know why. That one's kind of a little cheesy. Let's see. How many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh? Tentacles.
Tentacles, yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. How does Moses make coffee?
Ooh.
He brews it. He brews.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. How does an attorney sleep? A lawyer joke.
On the bottom of the ocean with the rest of the sharks?
First he lies on one side, then he lies on the other. Let's see. What do you call a super articulate dinosaur?
A thesaurus.
There you go. Let's see. What superlative did Robert E. Lee High School win in high school? Or Robert E. Lee win in high school? Most likely to secede.
Secede,
Yeah,
right.
dumb.
Yeah.
How did the Native Americans get to America first? They had reservations.
Oh, that's brutal. Yeah. Go
What's so
ahead.
great about whiteboards? If you think about it, they're pretty remarkable.
Jesus God Almighty. That's funny.
That
I
is
like
kind of
that.
a good little
They
teacher
are
joke.
remarkable.
Let's see. I've got a phobia of over-engineered buildings. Over-engineered buildings. A phobia of over-engineered building. It's called a complex.
No.
Well, because it's complex.
It's complex.
And it's a complex.
Complex.
And
Yes.
it's complex.
Yeah. Over-engineered.
What do you call a dinosaur with one eye? Do you think he saw us?
Oh.
Let's see. Why did the mathematician work from home? Because he can only function in his domain.
Yeah.
Why is your iPad making you fall asleep? I can help. There's a nap for that.
There's a nap for that. Exactly.
Let's see. I like bowling. Seriously, it's right up my alley. Oh, that's dumb. Let's see.
Hey, we got bowling fans.
I tried to sue the airline for losing my luggage. I lost my case. What do you call a girl with an hourglass figure? A complete waste of time.
Oh.
Knew a mathematician who couldn't afford lunch. He was binomial. Binomial?
Binomial.
I wanted to learn to drive a stick shift. Thing is, I couldn't find the manual.
Oh.
Let's see. What do you call children who were born in a whorehouse? Brothel sprouts. What do you call a turtle who takes up photography? A snapping turtle.
What?
What happened when the semicolon broke grammar laws? He was given 2 consecutive sentences. Well, we love y'all, Katie Anna. Much love. Peace out.